Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA and wholesale business for sale in the automotive niche. Created in February 2016, this business makes $5,414 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44981. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Clint, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks, Jake. Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure, and I'm excited to discuss this business with you. You know, it's got an interesting connection there with the FBA and the wholesale side of things, and I'm very excited to discuss it. But before we dive into the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in February of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $60,173, expenses of $54,759 to make for net profit of $5,414, which is generated on a 10-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the Amazon Seller Central account with 165 SKUs, primary domain and all site content and files, trademarks, and social media accounts including Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Clint, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Certainly, Jake. I actually started in the motorcycle industry back in 1994, and I grew from being a brick and mortar motorcycle seller, parts seller, into having a strong online presence. So I was able to not only learn the industry back and forth over those years, but learn kind of what worked online, what the niches were with the vendors, the products, the brands, and figure out how to get, products to clients effectively and, cost effectively for them, but more importantly, with a net margin left for myself. So it's been a lot of fun over the years learning the online world. Third-party platforms have been definitely a strong point for me with Amazon and eBay and e-commerce, and it's ever evolving. I love the industry, and I've learned a lot, and I still love it. It's been really good to me. So I probably have quite a bit of knowledge to share, Jake.
Well, I'm excited to hear that, and it's always awesome when a guest comes on here and wants to pass on some knowledge to other aspiring entrepreneurs. But, going back to this business in particular here, why did you decide to start with Amazon FBA, for instance, rather than something like drop shipping?
Drop shipping is still a viable option in a lot of cases. It is effective and, cost effective. And once again, product selection is key. The advantage to using Amazon and the FBA portal is not only for the fulfillment, first and primary is the fact that they handle all of the customer service, and when there are returns, they take care of the customer in an expeditious way so that, the brand name is still held at a very high level. So that's what I like most about Amazon is the fact that I don't have to handle the product. A little bit less work with processing, although drop shipping is still a very good option.
When you look at the breakdown between wholesale and the Amazon side of things, what is that breakdown? Is it split pretty evenly between the two monetization methods?
Right now it's split pretty evenly. Wholesale has a huge upside, and that is it can scale really quickly. Currently, we've got about 5 clients, and they have a fairly unlimited purchase capability, but as you can tell, 5 is not very many. There's a long ways to go, and that wholesale side creates good volume, which impresses the vendors, which helps us get good discounts on products. And that wholesale side of it is something that's been started fairly recently, so it's a lot of fun. Got some really good clients, and it's really just a couple of emails that I take care of, and the sale is complete.
So the wholesale is for 5 clients, and how long have you been doing it? You said it was fairly recently?
Yeah, they are. I've had them, I'd have to look back at my records exactly, a couple of years. They come through referrals. They come through the network. A lot of times I garner new clients from them or from our online listings. We'll have people reach out to us and say, wow, you're doing a great job with this brand or this product. Can we purchase this from you in bulk? And so it's kind of an ongoing process. I would expect it to grow as the years go on, especially if you put a little bit of work into it.
How are those orders fulfilled?
So those current orders are brought into the store here or my office here, and the boxes are relabeled and shipped back out the same day. So that is one way to fulfill. And the other way to fulfill would be to hire a 3PL to fulfill those orders for you as well. I simply do it because it's easy, and it'd be literally a few minutes of my day when I have to relabel a box and send it back out. So with 5 clients, there's a good volume. You know, if you've got 20 to 30 or 40, you might look at other options. But either way, it's really not a time-consuming process.
You mentioned that it's not time consuming, and, that means that you're able to spend your time on other things for the business. What do you do for this business on, say, a weekly basis?
So on a weekly basis, I will monitor sales through Amazon, reorder products, and ship those out to Amazon, to, their fulfillment center. And I really do that once a week. I place orders one day, I put those orders together another day. So there's a shipment every week, and watch them sell. If I feel like I want to grow and add more products, then I might do a little bit of research and grab another SKU that I like and order those in. But on an everyday basis, that's not necessarily needed unless you want to grow.
So that's what you do then. Do you have any other people helping you run the business? Do you have any employees?
I do not. It's just myself right now.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned putting a 3PL in place to handle those wholesale orders. I mean, do you feel like any of the tasks that you handle could be outsourced to, say, a VA?
They certainly could. Absolutely. Jake, it's honestly such a small amount of time that I spend. I haven't done it. When I look at my week and say, I spend 5 hours a week handling this business, this company, certainly I could change that. But I just haven't felt like, I need to right now. I think that, like I said, it could go either way. I'm not afraid to make changes by any means, but until it becomes a burden, it certainly hasn't.
Mm-hmm. And at, 5 hours a week, that's certainly not much from your end to have to maintain the business here. When you look at the history of this business, can we talk about that a little bit? I know that the business has been earning from Amazon FBA since early 2016, but the business has been around much longer than that, correct?
Yeah, Jake, I've been in the motorcycle industry since 1994. So I've gone through a lot of changes. Obviously, the internet came along somewhere around there. It has really changed the way things work. So I've got a rich history of the industry. I've had a lot of time to build relationships with my vendors, learn manufacturers, learn the products that work, learn the clientele. And Amazon has just, been a blessing in a lot of ways. It has provided a lot of opportunity, and quite honestly, it serves clients very, very well. So it's worked well for the power sports industry, and for, motorcycle enthusiasts are passionate about riding their motorcycles, getting their products quickly. And so it's been a great thing with FBA, and some of the third-party platforms are great as well.
So when you look since Amazon FBA, what's been the history of, the numbers for the business? Here you are over the last 10-month average making a little over $5,000 a month, about $5,400. So, what's been the growth in getting here?
The growth in getting to where we're at is simply learning what products work best. There are, my estimation, there's about 600,000 SKUs, part numbers in the motorcycle industry, and there's a lot of great ones out there. Going through and choosing the best has been really my focus since 2016, and it's worked really well. I think the business could prosper from just more of that. I hope that answers your question.
And then you look at, there's been this spike over the summer of 2018 here, even getting up to $12,000 and $13,000 in August and September. That was the spike, and then a dip in October. So what's been going on here?
Okay, so that's a real simple one, Jake. Yes, the motorcycle industry is seasonal, and it comes from nothing more than the fact that riding a motorcycle on icy roads becomes tricky. So yeah, when the East Coast usually ices up first, and the riding season's a little bit shorter, but very passionate people out there. So in the riding season that is available, they are really active in purchasing, really active online, and you'll see a spike in spring when things thaw out, and that carries spring, summer, carries into fall. In October, it will start to slide a little bit. You get a little busier during Christmas time, but it's a seasonality thing. And, you do kind of have to average, the gray months with the months that are a little bit more down the middle of the road here. So there's, power sports has, motorcycles are always number one, but there's also snow sports. Motorcycles are growing to be, or there are people who are starting to ride motorcycles in snow, believe it or not. They're more like a snowmobile. That's part of our power sports industry as well. Something that, I've done a few SKUs inside of so that business during the winter still stays, fairly strong. By no means is it going to be as strong as it is in the spring. It's just a seasonal business.
Do you have a trademark on the brand?
Yes.
Have you applied for Amazon brand registry?
I have not.
So that would definitely be an opportunity for the buyer to, ensure that your brand is protected and there aren't any copycats and stuff like that. And then you also have a branded website and social media accounts. Do you drive a lot of traffic and revenue outside of Amazon besides the wholesale?
I have in the past, and there's a couple of different ways to do that. My brand has been around a long time. It's got a really good name. There's opportunities to create new products, for example, using my brand name. There's opportunity to drive more traffic than I am now. I just haven't put the effort into it since I really started focusing more on driving super profitable sales, good brands through specific channels like Amazon FBA.
We've already touched on a couple of them, like, for instance, applying for the brand registry, expanding off of Amazon, that kind of stuff. But do you feel like there are any other major opportunities for growth that a buyer should take advantage of?
I think there's a lot of them. I think one of them I mentioned not too long ago in this conversation, but there's about 600,000 SKUs out there. I certainly haven't looked at all of them. There certainly is an opportunity to build a strong e-commerce presence and do that efficiently and effectively. There's unlimited activity on social media for motorcycles. I mean, they're fun as can be. And, I'm a motorcycle enthusiast myself, and I've ridden all my life. And I absolutely love the community. And it's great to communicate with. It's great to see the passion. And that passion drives interest, and that interest drives sales. So it's not tough to harness. We're in a fun industry, Jake.
And like you said, in addition to, the fun industry and passionate industry, you have a well-established brand, like you said, that goes back all the way to 1994.
Yes. And, there's so much that can be done, and that takes a little bit more time than 5 hours a week. So tons of opportunity.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
The online presence has been ever changing. I feel like for a long time, people saw Amazon as a threat somewhat, at least brands and sellers did. But I think it's more at a manufacturer level. I think at a retailer level like we are, there's nothing but the ability to capitalize. Motorcycle products they're continually evolving. There's always new technology. There's always new brands that are coming out. There's new avenues. And, once again, it's a fun sport. So the passion never ends. I think that if I had to look at something that, let's say, Jeff Bezos takes over the world and Amazon just sells absolutely everything, and he starts, making all of his products on his own. I don't know, that's not realistic, but I don't know what other threats there would be. Motorcycles they've been around forever. They're definitely not going away. And as long as that passion is there, we've got buyers.
What advice would you have to someone who wants to get started with their own online business, given your history here?
Wow, to get started in an online business, it's definitely not as easy as it probably was back in the 90s. There are a lot more hurdles. I think that branding's a big thing, relationships a big thing, finding vendors to do business with used to be easy. It's not as easy anymore. I have those relationships already, but you do have to kind of prove yourself to be able to, buy and sell, distribute those products. So, I think the online marketing, I don't see this as a challenge, but not everybody understands social media and the way that traffic is driven these days. Not everybody understands how to build an efficient, e-commerce platform and run one and, make that user experience positive for your client. So e-commerce, online, there's some variables to it now that there are a lot of companies out there to help you, but I think still need to do a little bit of research, definitely, follow some guidelines.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Certainly.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
My goal is to have the new owner feel very comfortable with what they're doing and capitalize on what's available. Remember, this brand was started, 24 years ago. I am more than happy to hand it off to somebody. I'd love to see that somebody really be passionate about it and grow it to be something, because it's a name that I created, and I want to see that success. And Jake, I've been in this for 24 years. I have so much information, in my head and, documented to help somebody move forward with this. It's incredible. It would be silly for me not to share that and watch someone thrive. I want someone to be successful for sure. It's fun. It's been a fun career for me. The industry's served me well over the years, and I'm willing to commit the time that is needed. I know that in most cases, that may not be a lot of time, may not be a lot of requirements. Some buyers may just want to take it and run, but I'm here for you. I love to talk on the phone. I can Skype, I can email, but I can probably help somebody thrive even better with just simple calls like the one we're on.
You mentioned that you've been in this business now for a long time, and that brings up a good question then. Why have you decided to sell the business?
I have a family that is dear to my heart, and I'm almost 51 years old now, and I've worked obviously hard since I was a kid. I truly want to spend more time with them. I have also started consulting on the side, and so I'm having a lot of fun in some other business arenas. Digital marketing is where I'm spending a lot of my time, and I really love is the flexibility of the schedule. And I love creating new things, and I love the time I get to spend building a company and building a brand. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And the great side of it is, you have a thriving business, you have a schedule that's flexible. The challenging side for somebody like me who has 3 little kids and a wife who are dying to spend time with me is that, I have to really be careful how much time I spend, because you can grow as much as you want to grow, and you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. I have to kind of harness myself and just say, enough's enough. Do things that better with your schedule now. I'm not the 23-year-old kid I was when, started rolling in the power sports industry. So, it's kind of personal as far as why, and that personal is my family.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
I would be, Jake. I'm happy to talk to anybody who's interested in taking this and running with it. So this conversation like we're having now, I've got no problem with that.
Awesome, Clinton. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. Before I let you go, my final question for you is, given your vast experience with business, both offline and online, why do you feel like this is a business worth buying?
It's definitely scalable. It's simple. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of work. Unless you want to put more work into it and grow it even more, it can be maintained at the level it's at. And I think that it's, as far as the cutting edge of what we're doing on an e-commerce basis and the way products get fulfilled and the way clients get taken care of, it's as good as it gets. So, there's opportunity, there's fun, the products are fun. I would certainly be excited to take over a business like this when I was younger and started it. So I would think anybody else would be in the same position.
Awesome, Clint. Thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I hope you had a good time. I definitely enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jake.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.